Good morning, students. Is vapor pressure dependent on volume of the liquid? Do the different liquids have same vapor pressure at a given temperature? Why water boils at lower temperature in high altitude regions? To answer these questions, we have to learn about vapor pressure. So today's topic is vapor pressure. Today we are going to learn about vapor pressure and the conditions influencing vapor pressure. Before going to the definition, we'll understand a few terms related to it, like evaporation, equilibrium, that is set between the liquid and vapor. Okay. Suppose some water is taken in a beaker and it is kept exposed for air for a few days. What happens? The level of water gradually decreases and ultimately the water completely disappears from the beaker, right? So what is the reason for this? It is due to a phenomena called evaporation. Water evaporates, so that is why the level of water comes down and ultimately it disappears completely from the beaker. Okay. So what is evaporation? Evaporation is nothing but the conversion of liquid into vapor. Okay. The liquid molecules have the tendency to escape into the outer space, okay, due to which evaporation takes place. Now let us consider a liquid in a container like this, and liquid contains the molecules which move randomly in all directions like gaseous molecules, right? So if you take a molecule that is present in the bulk like this, it experiences attractive forces by the surrounding molecules in all directions like this, right? Whereas if you consider a molecule that is present on the surface, okay, it experiences the attractive forces downwards, okay, and now these molecules actually differ in their energy, okay. Some molecules have more energy, some molecules have lesser energy, and if the molecule has a sufficient energy, sufficient kinetic energy, then it breaks the attractive forces of the molecules and escapes from the liquid, right? If you take this molecule, it is experiencing a less attractive force, okay, so that is why if it has sufficient kinetic energy, then it breaks the attractive forces of these molecules and escapes into the space like this, right? So this is a surface phenomena. Evaporation is a surface phenomena. Evaporation is nothing but the conversion of the liquid into vapor state, or the escape of molecules from the surface of the liquid into space is known as evaporation. Now this evaporation is influenced by various factors, right? Okay, it is dependent on nature of liquid. Okay. If you take volatile liquids like ether and acetone, they evaporate faster, okay, and if you take liquids like alcohol and water, they are slow to evaporate. Their rate of evaporation is less, okay, so that means it is dependent on nature of liquid, okay, so that is one factor, and the other factor is temperature, okay. As temperature increases, rate of evaporation increases, and if you see the ponds, okay, the evaporation of water during summer season is fast, so that is why water level recedes faster during summer season when compared to winter season, right? Okay, so it is dependent on temperature, and one more factor is the surface area. As surface area increases, the rate of evaporation increases, because evaporation is a surface phenomenon, okay. Take water in a glass and take the same amount of water in a plate, then what happens? The water that is present in the plate evaporates faster and it will disappear completely within short time, right? So that means rate of evaporation is dependent on surface area. As surface area increases, rate of evaporation increases. the rate of evaporation also depends upon the flow of air current. Suppose if you clean the floor with water, it takes longer time for drying up the floor. Suppose if you keep the fan on, then it dries up faster. That is due to flow of air. So rate of evaporation even depends upon flow of air current. Okay. So rate of evaporation now depends upon nature of liquid, temperature, surface area, and flow of air current. Now we'll see what is meant by equilibrium. Okay. Suppose water is taken in an open vessel like this, and it is kept for a few days. What happens? The level of water gradually decreases before it completely evaporates. So the process of evaporation takes place until all the liquid is converted into vapor state. Okay. Suppose if water is taken in a closed vessel like this. Okay. So this is a closed vessel in which water is filled to the half mark. Okay. And if it is kept for a few days, then what happens? The level of water decreases. Okay. And after that it stabilizes, right? Like this. Okay. So there is a slight decrease in the level of water. Okay. That happens because of evaporation. Here the water molecules escape from the liquid and fill this empty space, right? Once the vapor molecules fill the empty space here, then what happens? The vapor molecules behave like gaseous molecules. So that means they move randomly, okay, in all directions, and they'll collide with each other as well as with the walls of the container. Not only that, they'll collide with the surface of the liquid. Okay, when they collide with the surface of the liquid, what happens? The vapor molecules are captured back by the liquid. So that means vapor molecules are converted back to liquid state. Okay, so this process of conversion of vapor to liquid state is known as condensation. Conversion of liquid to vapor is called evaporation, and conversion of vapor to liquid is known as condensation. Okay. In the beginning, there is only evaporation. Okay, because there are no vapor molecules here, so there is only evaporation. And as more number of vapor molecules accumulate here, what happens? They also collide with each other as well as with the liquid. So that what happens? Gradually condensation happens. Okay. So rate of condensation also increases with time, right? Initially there is only evaporation, or rate of evaporation is more in the beginning. As time progresses, what happens? Rate of evaporation decreases and rate of condensation increases. Okay. At one point, rate of evaporation will be equal to rate of condensation, and that state is known as equilibrium, right? Rate of evaporation means number of molecules converting from liquid state to vapor state in unit time. And rate of condensation means number of molecules converting from vapor state to liquid state in unit time. Okay. So at equilibrium, rate of evaporation is equal to rate of condensation. Now at this point, the pressure exerted by the vapor on the liquid is known as vapor pressure. So vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by the vapor in equilibrium with the liquid at a given temperature. I repeat, vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by vapor in equilibrium with the liquid at a given temperature. Okay. So different liquids have different vapor pressures, right? So this is dependent on nature of the liquid and temperature. It also varies with temperature. So there are two important factors which influence the vapor pressure. They are nature of liquid and temperature. Okay. So here one thing we have to remember, that is vapor pressure is independent of amount of liquid. Okay. Whatever amount you take, it is independent of the amount, but it is dependent on nature of the liquid and temperature. Now we'll discuss the effect of nature of liquid and temperature on vapor pressure. Vapor pressure depends upon nature of liquid. Less polar or non-polar liquids have high vapor pressure because the intermolecular forces are weak here. What are the intermolecular forces here? London forces. They are weakest intermolecular forces. So it is easy for the molecules to break the attractive forces and escape into the space. Okay. So here rate of evaporation is more. That is why vapor pressure is high. So for non-polar or less polar liquids, the vapor pressure is high, or they have high vapor pressure even at low temperature. For example, acetone and ether, they have high vapor pressure, or they are volatile liquids. And if you take polar liquids, they have low vapor pressure because the attractive forces are stronger between molecules. What are the attractive forces here? Dipole-dipole forces or hydrogen bonds. Okay. As attractive forces are stronger, it is difficult for the molecules to break the attractive forces and escape into the space. That is why their rate of evaporation is less. As rate of evaporation is less, vapor pressure decreases, or they have low vapor pressure even at a high temperature, right? For example, water, ethanol, okay, they are held by hydrogen bonds, so that is why their rate of evaporation is less, or their vapor pressure is less. Okay, so they are less volatile when compared to ether and acetone. So ether and acetone are more volatile, or their vapor pressure is high. Water and ethanol are less volatile liquids, and their vapor pressure is less. Now we will see the effect of temperature on vapor pressure. As temperature increases, vapor pressure increases. As temperature increases, average kinetic energy of the liquid increases, and some molecules possess higher kinetic energy so that they can break the attractive forces of the other molecules. As they break the attractive forces, what happens? They'll escape into the space. Okay, so that rate of evaporation increases. So as temperature increases, rate of evaporation increases, or more number of molecules will be present in the vapor state at equilibrium. Okay, so as number of molecules increases in the vapor state, what happens? Vapor pressure increases, right? So as temperature increases, vapor pressure of the liquid increases, right? Now this effect of temperature on pressure can be explained by using Clausius-Clapeyron equation. It is given by log P2 by P1 is equal to delta H by 2.303 R into T2 minus T1 by T1 T2. Okay. So here P1 is vapor pressure of the liquid at temperature T1, and P2 is the vapor pressure at temperature T2. Okay. R is universal gas constant, and delta H is enthalpy change during this process. That is nothing but enthalpy of vaporization, right? So this is the equation. Now if you draw a graph between temperature and pressure of a liquid, you will get the graph like this. So here vapor pressure is plotted against temperature, and as temperature increases, what happens? The vapor pressure increases exponentially. And if you take more volatile liquids like ether and acetone, they have high vapor pressure even at low temperature, right? Whereas if you take less volatile liquids like ethanol and water, the vapor pressure is less, right? It is less, and even at high temperature, the vapor pressure will be less. At any temperature, okay, the vapor pressure of ethanol or water is less than the volatile liquids like ether and acetone. Okay, when compared to vapor pressures of ether and acetone, vapor pressures of ethanol and water are less, right? Okay, so more volatile liquids have high vapor pressure even at low temperature, whereas less volatile liquids have low vapor pressure even at high temperature.